Good morning. I can't wait any longer. I've been sitting here for probably about 40 minutes since I finished writing my blurb. So many thoughts, deep thoughts, coming to me this morning in regard to the topic. And I guess the only way to handle it is to jump in and begin. The title is Ninth Wave, Odious Debt in Our Divine Destiny. And here's my blurb. For me, it's virtually impossible to think about freedom without also considering the method of enslavement. Odious debt. In an email yesterday, someone characterized the United States as the land of the fee and the home of the slave. Indeed. But it's not only this country. As we see, it's the entire world. What does this have to do with divine destiny and the awakening? Perhaps more than we realize. Let me begin by defining the term odious debt. And I'm taking it from Wikipedia. In international law, odious debt is a legal theory that holds that the national debt incurred by a regime for purposes that do not serve the best interests of the nation should not be enforceable. Such debts are thus considered by this doctrine to be personal debts of the regime that incurred them, and not debts of the state. In some respects, the concept is analogous to the invalidity of contracts signed under coercion. In other words, they're not valid and not enforceable. But I've been thinking about a whole lot more in relation to this morning, as I've been pondering and ruminating on the concepts of divine destiny, which was my first thought this morning, and then how it relates to what's actually going on in the world. Now, I want to say something about debt in general. The debt of the world is more than the gross domestic product of the entire planet. In other words, there is vastly more debt than there is earning capacity of the people on the planet as the economy now operates and now works. So something has to give. Something has to give. And I believe, and a part of me laughs because it knows that there's a divine meaning in all of this, a divine plan, a divine destiny, if you will. Yes, the monetary system has created debt slaves of the entire human population. And it's been able to do that because the entire human population, by far and large, has been ignorant of the way the cosmos works, of the way creation works, of the way evolution works, of the way everything works. But we're in a period of awakening, when the dots are being connected and people are finally realizing how it works. I can't give you the whole answer in a 15-minute segment this morning, nor would I even attempt to. I'm not even schooled in these things. I just have a sense about them and a curiosity that makes me want to learn certain things, and so I explore, which is more than a lot of people do. I don't spend my time in front of a television set watching mindless trivia. I delve into things and I want to know what makes things tick. I explore. I'm curious. So curious that I knew that I couldn't trust the system to tell me how the system works. Because truthfully, most people in the system are clueless as to how it works. Except for maybe a handful of people at the very top. Saint Germain was one of those people. Perhaps the Black Pope, or the head of the Jesuits, is another of those people. Perhaps, as revealed in the Anastasia series by Vladimir Megra, the Ringing Cedars of Russia series, perhaps as Anastasia revealed, the world is actually run by 6 priests. It's not run by bankers at all. It's run by priests on a divine mission to create for God, to create a system that ultimately would lead to the awakening of the world, to a renaissance that would blow the mind and boggle the imagination of humanity. Who knows? I'm speculating here. I'm not telling you that this is truth. I'm telling you this is my personal speculation. But the fact of the international debt is not speculation. It is a number with so many zeros after it that it's incomprehensible. What is the real, true asset of the world? The only true asset of the world are natural resources. People that have the creative capacity to create through their own efforts and ingenuity. People are the true asset of the world. So if you took the international debt, forget national debt, because it actually crosses all the boundaries on Earth. There are no boundaries when it comes to the debt. It is a humongous figure, and if you were to divide that by the world's population, every single one of us is a multi-millionaire at the very least. At the very least. Every one of us. But the truth of the matter is, the majority of us are too damn stupid and ignorant to know how to handle such wealth. And so, the governments and the international bankers have given themselves power of attorney to handle it for us. They've created all of this wealth with numbers, by adding numbers, adding more zeros, till the amount of wealth is beyond comprehension. Beyond comprehension. Now, the leaders oftentimes are as stupid as the people. The people always get the government they deserve, and it always reflects the people. So if the people are ignorant, the government has to be ignorant. Most people in the government don't even see that the whole system is not even sustainable as it's currently being run. Unaware of it. Unaware of it. It's in a self-destruct mode. And whenever we operate in ignorance, we too are in a self-destruct mode on a personal level as well as on the collective level. You can't operate intelligently from a place of ignorance. It's a it's a paradox. It's an enigma. It's a conundrum. And that's not even, none of those are the words that I was actually looking for. It's an oxymoron. Intelligent ignorance. An oxymoron indeed. But that's the way it is. Humans have been really, really dumb. And so we've been easily led like sheep to the slaughter, as the cliche goes. We've been easily corralled by the sheepdogs. Bah! Bah! And we are clueless that we were even slaves. The most effective slavery is a slavery where people don't even know they're slaves. So we've got all this debt that is literally on our backs. When it talked about nation, the best interests of the nation, what is a nation? A nation is a collective of people. So it does not serve the best interests of the people. The people in Greece are realizing that. The people in Spain are realizing that. The people in all over the Mediterranean region that are rising up and demanding better and more. We are realizing it, folks. This is the awakening. This is the divine destiny. That we would wake up and begin to think about how things work. To begin to comprehend the game, if you will. And God, Creator, whatever you want to call the force, has always worked everything after the counsel of His, her own will. And what is the will of God? That the children of God would awaken and realize their inheritance, come back like the prodigal son or the prodigal daughter to the father, realizing that their slavery was teaching them a valuable lesson. Realizing that they had an inheritance, a wealth beyond measure, that they had forgotten about and squandered. They had squandered all their assets in the far country, eating and drinking and in riotous living, totally caught up in having fun and gaining possessions and doing stupid things that were not sustainable, could not be sustainable. But we have sustained it generation after generation for millennia, going back probably 10,000 years. We have sustained this empire mentality where we would play victim and victimizer and play these roles back and forth ad nauseum. I mean, till it made us vomit, and we're vomiting now. We're waking up now. The hangover is here. The nightmare is upon us. It is an impossible situation we have gotten ourselves into. What's the solution, Ron? What's the solution? Well, the solution, as I see it, is for all the debts to be forgiven. But how are they going to be forgiven? People are owed that money. So what would happen if each of us received our inheritance? Every man, woman, and child on the planet were given his and her fair share of what we together as humanity have co-created. As I said, we're all multimillionaires. Can you imagine the renaissance that would occur even if you give ignorant people all of that wealth? They would spend and buy, and ultimately, I mean, you might say, well, Ron, they're too stupid. We'd destroy ourselves. Not this time around. Not this time around. For one thing, we've got our future selves here helping us in the form of extraterrestrials. We've got an angelic choir resonating with what's happening upon the planet and causing the vibration of the whole planet and the whole solar system, the whole galaxy, the whole cosmos to vibrate higher and higher in training us, pulling us up. Yes, there are forerunners. There are those that are at the head of the pack. There always has been. There probably always will be. Various levels of awakening. That's okay. It doesn't mean that those that are at the head of the pack are superior. In fact, right now being raised up are people like me and others around the world who realize that we're not here to do anything other than to serve everyone else. And we are thinking in terms of unity consciousness, of the collective, of this is our wealth. This is our debt, and our wealth that belongs to us is able to meet all of the debt. All of the debt through forgiveness, yes, but through creating also the renaissance, the bursting forth of an absolute new heaven and a new earth, a new creation where all of us can fulfill our desires and our dreams, because this is our divine destiny. And I see I'm running out of time, and I'm going to have to pull the string on this. Maybe I'll talk about it again. The St. Germain World Trust is coming into effect. The Crown, the Vatican, the Black Pope, Unity Consciousness, all of those things are happening right now in this generation, in this ninth wave. Everything is coming to the surface so that we can know what to do, and then we can know how to handle it when all of this debt is erased by producing wealth for everybody. No longer an elect group of people called the ego representation, called the elite. The ego separated from everything else is not going to be able to get away with the crap anymore that has been dishing out, because too many of us are waking up and demanding our inheritance. So I went over. Sorry about that. Think about these things. I love you. Namaste. We'll talk about this or something else tomorrow. Bless you.